Hello, welcome everyone. I am Piyush Mundada, employee of Cognizant Technology Solution. Recently, on 22nd of September, I completed my 12-year work anniversary with the company, out of which I spent 6.5 years with ING Belgium, where our team's goal is to ensure the safety and security of the channel. I love videography, Java, cloud, AI, and of course my job. Just a minute. Perfect. Let us start with one story. One day, developer XYZ was using ChatGPT to get some help in his development work. But unfortunately, his manager enters in the room and saw that he's using ChatGPT. She asked furiously, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, no, nothing." And then his complete life went into explaining that I am same efficient coder. Whenever next time he sends pull request or a merge request, he had to mention that I didn't use any external tool. Did someone face this situation on any side as a manager or a developer? Yeah, good. Still okay. This talk will be good for everyone. Believe me, my team is in the audience and they can confirm that I never use ChatGPT in my development work. And so let's find out the simple solution. So simple solution to this problem is organization can ask network guys to block the access to such tools using a firewall. But that's not a permanent solution. We should understand the mindset of developer first and the manager first. So manager's concern is if developer is using ChatGPT for coding, then it might diminish developers' cognitive ability. And engineer or developer who was using ChatGPT in my video in different room, his concern is like if my manager discovers that I'm using or I'm getting help from the development assistant tool, then they can consider me replacing with the automated bots. And after AI started doing miraculous work, one question which is always asked, will AI replace developers in the future? So let us try to find out the answer to this question in next 30 minutes. So let us start from the beginning. ChatGPT, a fantastic tool which is making life easy for many. Frankly, I also use ChatGPT to generate the prompts for the images and the videos I use in this presentation which you saw already. So this is okay to use ChatGPT, right? But as a developer, I can see that there are some limitations while using a ChatGPT. Let's understand with one example. So here is my simple DTO class where I have multiple variables, out of which email is my primary key, let's say, and I want to validate on the regular expression. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked, write a regular expression to validate email address. For sure, ChatGPT will give me a regular expression, and along with that, it will give me an explanation also that what regular expression will do for me. I copied regular expression, and while returning back, I am distracted with the open tabs in my browser. And I thought of taking a look of India versus Sri Lanka cricket match. Also, I realized that football matches are going on. So let's check out who scored more goal, Messi or Ronaldo. And then let us check also our YouTube critics about who is better, Messi or Ronaldo. And I lost my efficiency here by scrolling down endlessly. So the main problem here is constant distraction and context switching that hinders my coding flow. Solution to avoid such a distraction is we need some AI tool which can work directly from our IDE itself. And the good news is in the market we have GitHub CoPilot, Amazon Code Whisperer, Codium, Tab9 and many more. Out of which we will just look at the feature for most popular one, CoPilot and Code Whisperer. So the first feature is get more done faster. As you see on the right side, line number 1 and 2 is the prompt, and line number 3 to 18 is the solution given for that prompt. So you might have one question like, from where did this code come from? These models are trained on billions of lines of code, which turns our natural language prompts into the coding suggestion, and that is supported in multiple languages. The next one is focus on solving bigger problem. As a developer, our final goal is to build a great software, right? But most of the time, considering the timeline, what we do, developers normally, they work code for the happy flow, unhappy flow, some test cases, push it to production without thinking about the robustness, memory optimization, and many best practices. So these AI tools will help you to generate a lot of boilerplate code, repetitive code patterns, so that your first target is done easily and you can focus on building what matters. It's a great software. One of the amazing features they have is a reference tracker. So most of the time, if we are stuck in something, what we do, we normally go on Google or Stack Overflow, paste our problem, find a solution, put it in our code without thinking that it is under any training data or under any license. So as you see in the image, the highlighted code is marked that it is referenced under MIT license. And the Code Whisperer reference log, which is shown below, will actually tell you on which line number you have a license. And also it will give you the reference link that you can go there and check. So now you are in the position that either you can give the attribution to the original licensee, or you can find the alternate solution. Next one is security scan. Normally, developers rely on Sonar Cube and check marks during the build pipeline. If you find any issue there, what you do, locally you change it, push it to build pipeline, and again wait for the successful Sonar Cube and check marks report, right? But here we are losing a lot of time. So with the Code Whisperer, you can scan your code locally to detect hard to find vulnerabilities, and it will provide you the suggestions also so that you can fix it. This feature is for, let's say, if you want to learn new language or new framework, what you do normally, you go on check you go and check the docs, YouTube or Google, and what you do, you learn, you read, you master it, and then you try to code it. But you also know that best way to learn new thing is actually by doing it, right? So this AI assistant tool will help you with that. So you will write a prompt, it will give you a solution. After that, you can ask this AI tool, can you explain the code for me? And it will explain your code line by line, so you know that, okay, what this code is doing. Now we know the features. Let us compare CoPilot with Code Whisperer. So Code Whisperer and CoPilot has two models. One is an individual, another one is a business. As the primary goal is to generate a code based on prompts. So this is supported all the models, and it is supported in most of the languages. Now organization level license management and policy management, this is obvious that we need into the business model. So that is not there in the individual model, where in the individual model is like a one license per user, and that's it. Next one, reference tracking, which we discussed in earlier slide. In Code Whisperer, you have option to flag, like just I explained. In the reference log, you can see that this code is under which license. But in CoPilot, you have a setting where you can block the suggestion which is matching public code. So it will block everything for you, and it will give you the non-blocking or the non-training data code. Code security scans, that's under CoPilot and not, sorry, that's under Code Whisperer and not under CoPilot. In the Code Whisperer individual model, you will get 50 scan per user per month, and in the business, you will get 500 per user per month. But at the same time, CoPilot had some additional features. They have CoPilot labs in the individual model, and they have chat beta also, which is same like a ChatGPT, but directly from IntelliJ or IDE. Pricing, Code Whisperer Business and CoPilot Business currently are on the same price. So that is a $19 per user per month. So based on the features you liked and you will use more, you can choose your AI tool. Let me show you a demo of feature which I like most, GitHub Copilot Lab. So whenever you will download a GitHub Copilot plugin, you will see this screen. I have a simple validator from which I will select 3 lines of code, and here in the GitHub Copilot Lab, I have option to explain a code. I choose explain code and clicked on ask Copilot, and here is the explanation of code. So if you read properly, it will give you what this regex will do for you. But line number 4, this expression matches 0 or more occurrence. I am validating on first name. That's not good, 0 occurrence, right? So let's try to fix it. Here you have brush. You click on that and here you have debug, fix bug and a lot of options. So click on fix bug. This solution is not okay. Click on again, fix bug, and somehow it gave me the solution that okay, it should be more than 1 character, right? So you can change it to 2, and now I selected and I can click on like, okay, document, can you please document so that the next person can understand that what this code will do. This, though it's a simple one, but it will write a document for the most complex one also. You can select and check on, let's check for the debug one. And here it will add a debug line before and after the actual logic. It's straightforward, you can also do it, but I want to show you that what this button will do for you. And then make robust. If you see the solution here, that it's not, first name is not checked with null value. So when you say make robust, here you can see first name is checked with the null value. This way this brush will help you. It also have a language translation feature. So if I select the same line of code, here I have a lot of languages. I will select one, let's say JavaScript, and it will convert the Java method into the JavaScript function. And that way you can convert any language, like most of the language here. They also have a text generation feature, but that's only supported in JavaScript and TypeScript, so I cannot show demo it for the Java example. So the most interesting thing is you write a prompt, you got a code suggestion, then to generate a code for you, it use your prompt, it use the code snippet suggestions and the content from the file open in IDE itself. So, but the best thing is transmitted data is encrypted both in transit and at the rest, but collected data can be used for service improvement. Here is the problem, right? Can we control the sharing of data? Good news is for business user, these tools are not using the data for the service improvement. For the individual users, we have a setting where you can ask AI tools that don't use my data for the service improvement. As the category of the talk is tools in action, let's see some action. So for the next 10 minutes, we try to code for this problem statement using AI tool. Here I have a doctor API, which will take an input from UI, doctor related field, along with the file, let's say, and which we will push into S3. S3 is a simple storage service of Amazon. That's object storage. So you will save the file here. Rating API will pass on the rating via asynchronous call, and doctor API will listen on that Kafka. And then we will send a verification mail to the user as we are receiving an input from UI, the doctor email ID. Then we will send a verification email, and then we will publish some event to the Kafka so that next APIs can listen on it. So the first one, rating API to doctor API, we will write a code in the doctor API for the listener. So this is a Spring Boot application. I will simply write a configuration class, Kafka consumer config.java. Obviously that's a configuration class. So as soon as I entered and I write the relevant name, Kafka consumer config, this AI tool, I'm using Code Whisperer here, started looking for the solution. And it will give me the code. Here you can see it gives me 4 suggestions. I can scroll between, I can move between next and previous, and I can check on the most appropriate one. As you can, I selected this one. You click on tab, you click tab, and that's it. Your code suggestion is already inserted into your IntelliJ. I change the block comment, and I will do import all the things, and that way my code is ready. So consumer config is ready, but still I am going to listen on the Kafka. So it is missing one concurrent Kafka listener container factory. So I will write a prompt that can you write a code for me, and it understand the context. So if you see here, it will automatically insert the consumer factory that we wrote earlier here. And you have a consumer config. So here you just need to change your Bootstrap server config from localhost 9092 to actual server, and your code is almost ready. The next thing will be, we'll write for app config. So here this tool will don't know it that what we are writing, but still it started giving me the Kafka consumer config, producer config, and some of the beans. Consumer config we already defined. So here I will use these beans, and I will, in this problem statement, we just need object mapper and REST template. So I will keep that, and I will remove the other. I'll just import, and our app config is ready. The next one is UI. So from UI, we will take some field, and Doctor API will validate on that. So I will write a model, and I will name it as Doctor DTO so that AI tool can understand the context. As soon as it knows that it's a model and it's a DTO class, it started giving me a Lombok suggestion that so that I can avoid the boilerplate code here. And this model class is doctor object, and it gives me some of the field might be which are relevant to my project. If you don't like it, you can write by yourself also, or you can give a prompt that create a variable for first name, last name, specialization, and whatever field you need. It will generate variable for you, and at the same time it gives like, okay, you might need a toString method for the doctor object. And this is the toString method I inserted, and that's it, our model is ready. As we wrote a model here, we might need a validator also. So let's write a validator. It will give a suggestion that do you want to validate on the doctor object, and it will help you in writing a prompt also because it knows the context here. So write a validation method, but I will be more specific. So what I will do, I will go in the Pojo and I will copy all the fields and paste it there. So I will get a relevant suggestion. It gives the suggestion, okay, is valid. I don't need that. Validate first name, and the next one validate. This is most appropriate, but I will generate one by one. So validate first name, and the next one is validate last name. Now it will generate all the methods for you. Next one, we will take the file from UI and submit into the S3 bucket. So let us write S3 repositories to store a file. This is the S3 repository class, and I need a S3 client to connect to Amazon S3. So I will give a prompt that, okay, I need a S3 client. This is a post construct method, and it will write a code to connect to Amazon S3. So here you can see it gives me AWS credential along with the access key and secret key. I know that I need access key and secret key. I will go to AWS console, and I will copy that, and to this specific region it will connect. The next thing is we need a prompt to write and submit into the S3 bucket, right? So we need a method to connect to S3 and upload a file to S3 bucket. We have S3 client already, so it gives me suggestion that okay, public void upload file to S3 bucket. Sometime you don't need that auto suggested method, so I will try to change the name here or the parameter here from file name and bucket to multipart file. So in the repository I will just pass a multipart file, and with that file I will go and put it into the S3 bucket. So S3 client dot put object, bucket name, file name, and the actual file. I will just throw exception. Yeah. And the next one is, it will suggest you, as you uploaded now a file to S3, do you want to download also? Yes. Okay. Write a code to download a file from the S3, and it will give you the method also. So now our S3 config is ready. The next one is, we'll send a verification mail to the email address we received from UI. So we'll use SES email verification service from Amazon itself. So this is a service class, and we also need S3 client here. So this time it gives me a suggestion with the SES client itself, and it has a post construct method already. This send verification email is having an email along with the source, destination, and message. I just wanted to write a verification, email verification, so I will use only identity verification itself. Here it's complaining for the region. I will just select any region, and with the help of SES client I will use a method to verify identity. Verify email identity. It need a builder, so I will pass email address. Yeah, writing it. Now the boring but most important one, test classes. After this my juniors will be happy that I am not asking them to write a test to understand the logic written by me. So here SES verification image service test, just you have to mention that which JUnit you want to use. So I will say import JUnit, and I will ask to import the actual class on which I am writing a test class. So SES email verification service Java, and now it knows the context and it will generate a test class for me. So you see here it gives me already a prompt. Now I have this is the correct one, because SES email verification service I will create an object and then I will click on send email. So my method name is wrong here, the send verification email, and it has only one parameter, that's only email. So we'll just adapt a bit, and that way our test classes are ready. At least skeleton is ready. I know this is not going to work because we need to mock SES client also, but at least our skeleton is ready, and with this we can write more efficiently a test classes. We as a developer, we can write controller services also, but the most difficult part, at least for me, is to write a configuration classes, and we can ask the tool to write that also, but we can skip it for now. And here the last one is AWS toolkit. You have a security scan feature. So we wrote most of the logic here. Once you click on security scan, if you followed correctly, you also know that I use hard-coded username and password, access key and secret key. So that is the vulnerable code. Yeah, it gives the same one that you use the hard-coded credentials. So that's the malicious actor. If somebody has a hold of it, they can connect to your S3 bucket, or they can send an email using your email servers. And this tool can give you the suggestion also to fix it. So the conclusion, AI assistant tools are in the market are the CoPilot. They are there to help you and they are not the pilot. So, and there is nothing like a autopilot mode, so they can do everything for you and just you will sit and it will do everything for you. So we almost answered two questions which are asked earlier in my presentation, that will AI will do everything for you and you will lose cognitive ability. No, as you already saw in my demo, that sometime you need to adapt a bit and you have to write and you have to get the suggestion which are not 100% correct. I want to leave you with the message that will AI replace developers in the future? AI will not replace humans, but human with AI will replace human without AI for sure. Why I am saying this? Because these numbers speaks for themselves. This research is done at GitHub and Amazon. So here if you see, the developers who use these tools has a 74% more focus on satisfying work, 88% they feel more productive, 96% are faster with their repetitive task, 57 are faster and 27 are more likely to succeed than the others who are not using this tool. If you want to try it, AWS Code Whisperer is free for individuals, so you can use it now, and GitHub CoPilot is free for 30 days. After that they will charge you $10 per user per month. Thank you. This is the GitHub link for the project developed in this demo, along with the controller and services, everything is there. If you have a question or want to connect with me, here is my link. Thank you very much. If you have a question now, from tomorrow I will be at the ING booth. So thank you very much.